I enjoyed watching the Yankees get hot in the second inning there. I enjoyed watching, baseball get celebrated for an evening. I enjoyed the thought that another league is kicking off, another journey to championship stuff last night. And it got me pumped up about today, Jet. And when I talked to you this morning, I think I told you this. We're making a pact and a pledge in here in the Thunderdome. We're going to try to watch 100 of the games of the teams that we root for this year. 100. Now,
hell yeah.
Not going to be able to watch the whole thing. Nobody's expecting that. But at least follow along with 100 games of 162 season. I'm with the Buckeye. I'm with the Buccos. I'm with the Brewers. Royals. Dodgers. I love the Dodgers.
Cubbies, maybe?
Who's that?
Cubbies, maybe?
I like the Cubs.
Phillies.
Yeah, I like Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
so I'm 100 games.
100 amongst them, not 600 total.
Yeah,
okay.
I cannot get 100 per, but I'm going to follow along, okay? And it starts today with Paul Skeens. Can you tell me who I need to expect to win this entire thing? Is it Dodgers again? Is it Yankees again? Or the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are the most bet-on team, I believe, on DraftKings because of how good their odds are and how they've done in the past whenever they've spent actual money? Like, what other storylines do you think we need to watch for this particular season, and what should today tell us about all of it?
The Dodgers are the clear favorites. And Pat, we haven't seen a team like the Dodgers since the 1998 to 2000 Yankees. They're one of only two franchises ever, along with the 72 to 74 A's, to win 3 consecutive World Series championships. So that's what the Dodgers are trying to do this season. And they're trying to do it with arguably their most talented team ever. You've got Shohei, they've got Freddie Freeman, they've got Mookie Betts, their rotation, and then they bring in Kyle Tucker. And then they bring in Edwin Diaz. And it's like, Roki Sasaki is struggling this spring. And the Dodgers say, so what? We got 4 more starters who are every bit as good, if not better than he is after them. And, I think for fans, there is certainly some frustration that it feels like it's a done deal. But let's not forget, the Los Angeles Dodgers went almost a decade of winning like they are now without getting a World Series championship. It's hard at the end of the year to be crowned champion. And so the idea that this is a done deal, no, it's not close. Are the Dodgers going to win the National League West? Yeah, probably. But after that, October's a weird time, man. And so I think it's good, frankly, in some ways, that there are all these other teams chasing this monolith, this mega team that they've put together. And you see on the board there, the New York Yankees, good baseball team. Seattle Mariners, they are my pick to win the American League. The New York Mets are going to be interesting. And that opening day matchup, Pat, with Paul Skeens rolling into Citi Field today, the newly constructed New York Mets against arguably the best pitcher in the world right now, like that's going to be a hell of a game on a slate, frankly, of a bunch of good games today.
Yeah, I think there is a packed slate, which we're excited about. A lot of stars that we remember and know, which I think is a good part of what MLB had last year. The stars played well. So, like Aaron Judge striking out 4 times last night, not necessarily that big of a bummer because at WBC, for most people, we saw him hitting the ball all over the place. But I think if we didn't have WBC and we just had opening night last night and Aaron Judge does shitty, I think it's not good for baseball.
I agree. Yeah.
I think it is. Genuinely, the stars playing well in baseball, I think, is good for baseball. And last year, it felt like all the stars were playing well, and we got this new big dumper character that is hitting it from both sides of the plate. It felt like last year had a lot of good storylines, and that's because the big names were playing well and the marquee were playing well. And the last question for me, as we clean up kind of the Dodgers are going for greatness that has never been seen before. Roki Sasaki, obviously great righty. Let's talk about another great righty out of Japan, Shohei Ohtani. 11 strikeouts, 4 innings. There's 12 outs, right? So that's 11 of 12 strikeouts. He's full-time pitcher this year while also being hitter for the Dodgers. How do we view the Shohei Ohtani season, and have we ever seen anything like this before?
If we have seen something like this, it was 100 years ago. And it was in the Negro Leagues, and then before that, it was Babe Ruth. But something like this in the modern era, no, we have not. And here's the thing, Pat. Shohei Ohtani has won 4 MVPs in his career. It was interesting, though. The last time he was a full-time pitcher, 4 years ago at this point, wound up blowing out his elbow the next year. But his batting actually suffered a little bit, but he had his best pitching season, started 28 games, had like a 2.3 ERA. And I think Shohei Ohtani finding this version of himself again is going to be something to really keep an eye on over the course of the season, because nobody else can do this. Like, absolutely nobody else. Guys have tried, and it's just too difficult. But him, he is as locked in of an athlete as I've seen. It's interesting, though. I was talking with Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager, and I was like, you've been with Shohei for 3 years now. What sort of evolution have you seen? And he said, when he got here, we got the sense that he was solely and intently focused on being the best baseball player of all time. And he's loosened up a little over the last couple of years, and he's more comfortable now. And, with everything with Ipe, his translator, seemingly in the past at this point, he has the ability to focus on being that best ball player ever. And I'll tell you what, there's no better way to show that, to absolutely indelibly stamp that on your resume than to have the kind of year that he can if he's pitching full time and also hitting at an MVP level.
What I asked him if I thought he could strike himself out, and he said yes. I think he views himself as a pitcher who can hit, right?
Yeah. That's, he was, when he came over here, the belief was that most teams wanted him to be only a pitcher. And his insistence on hitting is how he wound up with his team in Japan. And it's one of the reasons that the Angels said, yeah, you can do whatever you want. He didn't get the sense that they were going to make him strictly into a pitcher like some organizations wanted to.
See, so I think this is a big personal thing for him, because there's a lot of people, I think baseball people, that are much smarter in the sport than I and have a lot more research on the topic than I do, especially, with the modern stats that we have for medical and everything like that. It's like, I think personally he wants to be a pitcher, doesn't care about like, hey, you're going to burn yourself out for hitting or you're going to be this. I think like since he's a little kid, I think he's viewed himself as a pitcher. So I think he probably wants to be respected as a pitcher. I think that might be a deep, I see myself as this, the entire thing. Yeah. Like when I got drafted,
what he does, he
nowhere near the
points
same.
to himself too.
When I got drafted to punt instead of field goal kick, it was like, I'm a kicker. I'm not a punter. I do these things, but I'm a kicker. And then lo and behold, Vinatieri's still playing. I think he just retired. They're like, well, yeah, okay, you'll get a chance whenever Adam Vinatieri retires. I'm like, all right, this old guy will certainly do that. And then lo and behold, he never retired. He was always better than me. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'm never going to do it. But I assume there's something in him that's like, I'm supposed to be. This is who I am. So if he's fully locked in and the Dodgers are promoting it, and you said he wants to be the greatest baseball player of all time, we got fireworks all season, it sounds like, from Shohei. I am excited about that. That's good for baseball. Also good for baseball, Tony's boy doing his thing. Con Man has a question for you, Jet.
Yeah, Jet, obviously Tony's boy is going to do his thing. I think we all know that. That is a fact. He's the future of the baseball league. But what do you think about the balls this season, Jet? Can we assume there's going to be nights like last night, not many dingers, or are we expecting kind of the balls to be a little more juiced, a lot of home runs, let's make this super entertaining, especially if next year we might not have baseball?
The great question, Connor, because I got a number of texts from people this spring training who are convinced that the balls are juiced now. Now, some of this was based on what was going on out in Arizona, and you guys were out in Arizona a little bit earlier this month, so you saw, for lack of a better term, it was hot as balls out there. Like, it was gross all spring long, and with warmer weather, the balls go flying a little bit more. So maybe it was that. I asked around, and the league said there's no difference in the exit data right now, but the league on this matter has been a little wishy-washy in the past. So.
Riddle me this. I saw a stat online. Andrew Filipponi, Pony Express, posted that the Pittsburgh Pirates are 22nd in salary this year. Okay. The last time we were this high in salary, we won 95 games or something like that.
More.
And then we won on a little bit of a run in playoffs.
Won MVP.
The Pirates are trying, and also the Pirates were forced to watch Yinzers tell them what it would mean if they weren't asked for once.
Great.
It was pretty good video. This is good social media. I don't know who did it, who created this, who came up with the idea. Maybe Nutting himself did to motivate the boys. Whoever came up with the idea, good. And also to the Pirates players that sat there and actually watched it, thank you for doing that, because that could have been something they easily could have been like, oh, that's dope. Yeah, sweet. All right, see you later. But instead, it sounds like they all want to win for Pittsburgh. They're the most bet on team. Can you tell me a little bit about the teams like the Pirates, who maybe aren't the big seller or spenders, which are certainly a part of this next collective bargaining conversation, who are the teams we should look at, right? Aren't the Tigers one of those teams? The Guardians, aren't they one of the teams?
The Royals.
The Royals are in there. Which one of these teams is most poised to kind of go on a run, and who should we be watching that we know, I guess, at this stage?
Pat, I got this buddy named Clark, and Clark loves nothing more than going to the casino, sitting down in front of the dancing drum slot machine and saying, today's going to be my day. Today is going to be my day. That's how Pittsburgh Pirates fans feel right now. Yeah. Today is going to be their day, that this season has a chance to be their day. And let me tell you something. When you've got Paul Skeens in that rotation, when you've got Bubba Chandler in that rotation, you've got Braxton Ashcraft and Mitch Keller.
We got an Ashcraft
Jones coming back. They got the Ashcraft. The Ashcraft can play, Pat.
He can.
He's going to have it.
Seth Hernandez
He
is
is
coming
going
up
to
too.
have a good season.
Cracking bats, kicking ass. That's Ashcraft baseball.
Connor Griffin's going to be up
Exactly right.
eventually.
That's right. We know all these guys. Shit.
If they can play good hands, well, if they can play better defense than you, and if they can just hit the ball a little bit, their pitching, Pat, I realistically believe that the Pittsburgh Pirates have a chance to make the playoffs this year. I think their starting pitching is that good. And look, maybe this is not the season. Maybe it's next year. Maybe it's after that. Oh, look at this. Everyone. Hold on. Can we get a couple games of catch going right now? Like, is there enough room in there?
Hit a home run yesterday. Thanks. Don't worry about it. Almost broke camera.
We're skipping Stone all day.
Yeah, I know what we're doing. Okay, so the Pirates are going to playoffs. That's all I wanted to hear. I like that a lot. Now let's talk about other teams that are going to make the playoffs. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Jet. So I know you like the Mariners in the AL, and the Dodgers, in all likelihood, will be representing the NL. What are the chances you think that 4 teams from the AL East get into the playoffs this year? A lot of people have been very high on the Red Sox after what they did this offseason. Obviously, the Yankees, Blue Jays arguably were the best team in baseball last year, and then the Orioles are kind of up and coming. I've seen a lot of that. Like, what is your prediction for the AL East this year?
I don't think they're going to get 4 playoff teams. And I don't think so because when you look at the American League Central guys, like, there are a couple of bad teams there. And I think Detroit and Kansas City are both good. And I'm not saying Detroit and Kansas City are necessarily going to make the playoffs, but American League East is just going to be beaten up on each other. You know, you look in the AL West, and I think the Mariners are clearly the best team there. But every other team you can make an argument for, like the A's can hit. The Rangers, I think Wyatt Langford has a legitimate shot to be an MVP candidate. He is really, really good. The Houston Astros, year in, year out, they're good. So when you got the AL East beating up on each other in the fashion that they are, I think it's just going to be difficult for 4 teams to get to 90-plus wins. But damn, they're talented teams. Like, you can make a great argument in favor of the Yankees. The Red Sox rotation is good and deep, and I think Roman Anthony is going to have a monster year. The Orioles, it's a brand new team, it seems like, but Pete Alonso in the middle of that lineup. I got a big year ahead for Gunnar Henderson and a completely revamped rotation. And then, of course, let's not forget the Blue Jays, who took the Dodgers to 1 out in the 9th inning in Game 7 of the World Series last year, and frankly, probably should have won that series. We can't be sleeping on them. So
just real quick, I know they're a Canadian team, so you're going to want them to win more than here. Okay. Yeah, I don't even need to hear that they should have won.
I am tired of the slander here. I am tired of the slander, McAfee.
I know. It was a fun run watching. I mean, not for you. not for you. And obviously we saw you personally and through the FaceTime through the entirety of it all. But it was that World Baseball Classic was the greatest, dude.
So awesome.
That was the greatest, Jet. I couldn't be a bigger fan of what's going on there.
It's made us want to watch, it's made us each individually want to watch the 100 games of our teams.
Yes.
Because of that.
And isn't that the point, though? Isn't that like the beauty of that tournament, that you guys got to see in person what that Venezuela heavy crowd was like, it was different. Like, it's not baseball like we expect or we come to know in the U.S., but it opened your eyes to what the game's like around the world, and it allows you to appreciate what's coming more. And that's why the WBC is great. It's not a matter of who won. It's a matter of it makes you love the ball.
I would like us to win. We would like us to win.
It would have been nice.
Yeah.
It would have been nice.
That would have been a great night.
Yeah.
Oh, not that it wasn't. But walking out of there,
I saw you guys afterward. Yeah, you looked like you had a good night, Pat.
we did, but you didn't see us outside when we had to do the around all the ponches.
Yeah.
You know, ponches.
They're taking shots at the bar.
Yeah,
We're just
having so much fun singing, dancing. We're just walking behind them, like didn't even think we were gonna lose this. Didn't even think about this being a possibility because we got a long way to get home here now. We got to figure out how to get to the parking lot that we were at. A lot of shutdown roads.
no idea.
No clue how to get there.
Where's the driver?
Okay, absolutely. Yep, certainly. Everything. Then we get to driver. All right, now we got to get to airport. Yeah, right. That's going to take forever. No chance that's happening. We just sat there. Miami, yeah, we're doing that. Then obviously get on plane. Far. That shit's way down there. And then when we land, what was it, 4 degrees?
And we're still losers.
And we lost the whole time. We didn't even think about any of
And
it.
your voice was gone that night too.
Yeah.
I had to cheer for
was a
America.
fan.
Yeah, I was a fan out there. But that night, when I learned about baseball and why it isn't boring, baseball isn't boring. Shout out. You know who did this, right? You know this guy?
I do. Rob Bradford, great guy.
Hey,
Good
Rob.
podcast.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, Bobo.
Bob, good work getting this in here. What I realized is the parts that I thought were the most boring, okay, we're actually maybe just building pieces to the story here. You know, this is kind of just, this is building the story that's happening. But then when that moment happens and it's a full, I mean, it was like a volcanic eruption of happiness came out of my body. It was outrageous, you know. I've never felt that with a sport before. Obviously with Donner.
I love you. Like you're finally seeing it. All this time.
I'm feeling it.
All these years I've been coming on this show, man, and been preaching the way I've been preaching. That's what it was for. That moment right there.
Thank you, Bryce.
And you know, it's impossible not to love, and it's why. Listen, it's a long season ahead, Pat, and there are unquestionably some moments in a baseball season, where you're like, God, this is a lot of time. This is a lot of energy I'm investing in. The way I look at it is you're investing in a durable thing. And what I mean by that, our attention spans are so bifurcated right now. We got things coming at us right and left.
Yeah.
We got,
Insidious
we're
stuff.
getting pulled in every direction. It's quite insidious.
Good movie.
You know, we're getting pulled all this. This is our ability to invest in a story. And that's what a baseball season is. Every baseball season is a story that's told in 162 chapters, and all you're hoping for is for a little overtime in October, where those are the most meaningful moments. And given time for that, investing, because that's what it is. It's an investment. Investing time in that, it's worth it, man. And it's what makes the game as great as it is.